Welcome to the Evening Shift Podcast.
Thank you, everybody, and welcome to the Evening Shift Podcast. My name is Ethan, and today we'll be clocking in and talking about a whole bunch of random nonsense again. With me, as always, I have my twin brother, Malachi.
What's up?
And my not-so-twin brother, David.
What's up?
He's the less handsome but way more successful version.
See,
of
I was
us.
about to say, I think David's the prettier twin out of us three.
Prettier twin.
Twins can't be
Triplet?
triplet. Wow. Yeah. No, yeah. Okay.
Bro, he's covered in enough hair to make a rug, dog.
Right?
Well, I mean, so, you know what? Actually, you could braid my ass hair, so we're like, yeah.
Yeah. You know.
All right, so we actually kind of have a little bit of structure for y'all today, contrary to our usual
Yeah, I feel
lifestyle
like,
and
I feel
work
like
style.
last week's episode was more of a overarching branch on the broad structure of what we will be covering week by week by week.
Yeah. Anything before we get started all the way in? Anything exciting or fun happen to anybody specifically?
Well, I heard something fun happened to you yesterday,
Sunday. It was Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday.
I don't know if it was
tell
Oh,
fun.
that.
so this was recent.
Yeah, no, it was kind of stupid, and like I added way too much hype for it. It was just dumb.
Well,
I still
asked
want to
him-
hear about the church's incident that happened.
I asked him as soon as he sent it to us. I was like, "Oh, dude, what's up?" "Oh, I'll tell you about it later," and then didn't hear shit.
Yeah. So, where I work, we have a chicken place attached to us, which, common knowledge for most of everybody. But I'm on my lunch break, and the other Ram, who was up at the building for some reason, way before you're supposed to clock in, just sitting in my goddamn lobby. Anyways, comes out and is like, hey, this lady needs to talk to you. I already told her no, but she has a weird question for you. And so this girl, like, she's got to be like 19, 20 years old. She's young. And she was like, hey, do y'all have any chicken that we can borrow from y'all? And I'm like, do you work at a non-disclosed chicken place that is attached to where we work at? 2? And she goes, no, I work at a church's. And I was like, well, fuck no, I can't give you any chicken. What are you talking about? And it's like, I was more so dumbfounded. That was like, if Malachi, working where he works at a non-disclosed burger location, decided to go and try to steal burger patties from McDonald's, be like, hey, y'all got any burger patties I can just have? Because we ran out over here.
Nah, I'd get my ass fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I tried that shit.
Well, like, the thing was, her manager sent her to me to come ask us for chicken.
So
Malachi,
they're an idiot.
my chicken boxes are upwards of like $120 to almost $200 a box, and I make maybe like 4 or 5 cents per chicken we sell.
Oh,
That's why they're trying to take out all those chicken places that are non-disclosed travel stop uses. Hey, I don't want to keep censoring, okay? It was fun to figure out in editing, but I really don't feel like fucking with it the whole time.
Right. No, that sounds fair. That sounds like a lot of work.
But yeah, I was sitting there, I was like, I'm sorry you wasted a trip. And she gave me the best young person working retail answer on the planet, dude. She's like, oh no, that's okay. I just wanted to go ahead and waste a bunch of time while I'm clocked in and drive around for no fucking reason. I took the long way too. I was like, holy shit. I was like,
that's
I looked at her and went, hey, do you want a cigarette? Like, you want to just hang out for a second, I guess? I'm on lunch. I mean, like, it's bullshit with us for a minute. She's like, nah, I probably do need to try to go back. And me and, the other assistant manager were like, hey, there's a churches in Tyler you could go waste your time and go drive to. And she was like, but they're not paying me gas. And I was like, and? Waste the fucking time, bro.
right. Like, I mean, at this point, it's just that's ridiculous. Like, I'm no stranger to asking other stores to be like, hey, look, I don't have this. Can I get this from you guys? And working it out.
Yeah.
But like,
I'm sorry.
What the hell was that?
Don't worry about that.
that was what that was.
Jesus Christ. No, you're right. It's not uncommon for stores of the same chain
Right.
to ask
share
the other one
product,
for help. Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure if you knew this, but we're actually supposed to keep up like a certain amount of product at all times,
No, yeah, I
just
know.
in case that happens. You
Yeah.
know?
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn.
You didn't know that?
No.
Come on, man.
Oh yeah, no. Like we that's
Yours
Like,
does the same thing too.
I used to have issues with the builds all the time.
We don't
for
do
my
that.
truck orders. You know?
I can tell you right now, we do not do that.
Okay, fine. You guys are probably supposed to be doing it.
Well, so we've been instructed to pretty much have on hand as little as possible because we have 4 different things in my place that does food. We have way too much food, so not one of my food places, they're not doing like 50 grand a week like some places do. They're doing like 12. And so like we have to cut our corners so hard, which we'll cover in a future topic down the
basically
line
the
that we
way
got.
you guys are operating it is you're planning on running out of fuel just as the wheels touch the ground.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the best way that we can get that to work.
Yeah, that's a terrible way.
It is what it is.
Yeah, that's so true.
All right, so who wants to start us off today?
So anyways, yeah, that was his interesting, unfun story that he made us a week.
Well, hey,
Made
it's still
us wait a week to know.
it's still funny. Like for me, like I still think that's like, wow, that's crazy. Because like I don't think I could ever.
That's crazy. Moving on.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, no, I pulled that line on people before too. It's just like, wow, crazy. Anyways, I asked you to go clean the lobby like 30 minutes ago, dog.
I will say this though, if anybody actually listens to this podcast and that story was the only thing that kept them from taking a bath with their favorite toaster, we failed.
Get help if you need it. Or just do what we do and just fucking raw dog it, dude.
Caffeine and anger.
Caffeine, nicotine,
Spite.
spite.
Yeah.
That's
Need
actually
that on a
There's
T-shirt.
a T-shirt that says "I exist out of spite."
that's actually mine and Ethan's mantra is like
Yeah.
live out of spite. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was born in the jank.
was born
Raised by it.
I know why God's making my life so hard. He wants me to kill my motherfucking self.
I know what God wants me. He wants me to kill my motherfucking self.
So let's go ahead and
Start at the top. Make it drop.
I don't have the actual.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you say start at the top, but bitch,
Yeah.
you're the one that's
You go ahead.
actually
Oh,
starting
fuck.
this.
Yeah, no.
Goddamn.
I was
I
we'll
made
give you
the
index
card.
cards.
I know my
So
name's
you
even
would
on it
know.
too. All right, so I wanted to ask all of us, and I kind of want David to start, to be honest with you, because I feel like he has a really good one. With what would be your biggest like retail, like working in retail, your biggest win that you had, and then your biggest loss, like biggest awesome moment, biggest like just sucked moment.
I would say my biggest win in my retail experience, of which we've established I have had quite a bit of. I would say it wasn't until like maybe the last 5 years of my retail, and that is the friends I made along the way.
Oh, fuck off.
So fucking gay, but
Fuck
it really is. Like literally, it wasn't until this morning. I was like, I was telling my wife, I don't have shit for this one. Like wins and losses. The way I left was anything but a win. And
It
at
was
the
pretty
end of
bad.
it, do I even have a W that really counts? I
Well-
don't think I do.
I think the W is probably your mental health for leaving.
Okay,
Yeah.
you bet.
You're no longer suffering,
Sure.
kind of.
Oh man, you know it.
Man, we love scratching the roof of our mouths with a 45 just to feel something.
Just to feel something.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, like if I didn't have my dog, I would probably taste test a 9 mil.
I want to eat birdshot so I can feel alive.
Yeah, so this got dark. Anyways, yeah. Who's next?
I guess I'll go with mine. One of my biggest wins is one of my favorite stories of all time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Christmas story.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
Damn it.
I love Christmas stories.
And I'm not going to try to name anybody.
Is this gonna break down into a sing along?
It could.
Fuck.
You want me to sing?
Hell no.
The
No.
hills are... Okay, I'm sorry. But no, so it was Christmas probably like 6 years ago, man. It was a long time ago. It was real early in my career. You and me haven't even started
Before
working
we
yet.
met.
Yeah, before COVID.
Actually,
before
sorry.
the big C.
Fun fact: you and I met before we met. It was in passing. I brought tacos to your store.
That's right. I remember
You were
that.
working on the cooler.
That's right. That's
Yep.
right.
Go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, no. So
Lore.
this was a good chunk of years ago. Like before the big C happened, before me and David were ever working together. I think Malachi was even still working overnights at the time. But
Oh, was that long ago?
Yeah, I had a service advisor that worked evenings with me. Nick. We'll say Nick. I'm not gonna give
okay.
any other names.
We love Nick.
Yeah, but they know what I'm talking about. So me and Nick were outside, like we always were every night. We'd meet up at the store, go over to the smoking spot, kind of break down how the day went, like we're supposed to, talk about everything and whatnot. You know, we wanted to smoke some cigarettes, so we were smoking. And Christmas night, like December 25th, this dude walks through the drive-through, right? and immediately smelled a hint of strongest of ganja.
That's sweet, icky, sticky.
Yeah, the icky, sticky green stuff, man. And me and Nick were both like, that dude's smoking through the fucking drive-thru.
Smoking the.
And we kind of made a few jokes about it. We were like, huh, all right, well, whatever. Like, we didn't think anything of it, didn't care. But we think the dude heard us talking because he came around the corner later and was like, what's going on, gentlemen? Merry Christmas, talking to both of us. Goes to pass this blunt to Nick. Nick goes, nah, I'm good. He goes to pass over to me, and I was like, nah, fuck it, it's Christmas. So I take it from him, take a hit, and I go to pass it to him. He goes, you go ahead and keep the rest of that, big man. Merry Christmas. Walks away.
Don't
Now,
do drugs, kids.
Hold on.
Don't do drugs.
I'm going to describe the dimensions of what was left for me. As somebody that does not smoke on a regular basis, why this was a problem. It was about as thick as a quarter and about 3 inches long.
So you got handed a fucking cigar, essentially.
Yeah.
Some people would say that's average size.
Some people are lying to you, dog.
Yeah, and those same people will do the pull-out, like the pull-out surgery they do to get that extra inch that's hidden in them somewhere.
You mean I got hope? No, I'm just kidding.
But, yeah, no, so I killed it.
God.
Just killed it. And then proceeded to smoke another half a pack of cigarettes to mask the, the smell. And then went back to work like nothing happened. I only had like 30 minutes left. There was an assistant manager working that night too, so like I didn't have to worry about it. I was only a shift lead at the time. I'm helping with paperwork, and I'm sitting there at the computer kind of just staring at the screen. And the assistant manager at the time comes in there and goes, hey, man, you okay? And I was like, yeah, no, I'm fine. He's like, cool. You've been staring at a black screen for 15 minutes, Ethan. You tired, bud?
I mean,
Now,
if
mind
that
you,
didn't give
so-
away your glossy eyes. Probably.
I don't want to say his name because I haven't talked to him. Like, I talked to him about doing the podcast years ago, but I haven't told him that we're doing it actively. All I can tell y'all is he's our ginger leprechaun friend.
I'll
Not ringing a bell. Sorry.
Might not
explain
be
it to you later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and so me and him, we'd had smoked before. We had partied before. And, like, he's seen me. He was the one that witnessed my Arthur Morgan mode, if you will, come out on multiple occasions.
So he's seen you in this mode before, and he
yeah,
knew something
so
was
he
up
knew
instantly.
immediately that I was pretty good. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have a car at that time, so he was my ride home. We lived right around the corner from each other, so he was going to drop me off on his way home. So he was like, hey, man, how about you go ahead and clock out. Go sit down on the curb, and I'll come get you in a minute. I was like, okay. I was laying down in a parking spot.
I'm sorry. Wait. This is your win.
Yes.
Oh, I'm just making sure. Like,
It
I'm
was
sitting here.
the best night of work I ever had in my life.
Your
See, and-
illustrious career.
Right.
And by
That's your win.
Well, that and then when the power was knocked out for like 4 days straight, and so I kept having to go over to work and do nothing but sit on a chair
All right.
outside telling people that we'd had no power and couldn't help them. That was pretty neat. Finished a couple books. Smoked a lot of cigarettes while I was waiting.
All right, let's move on to your biggest loss.
No.
Probably when lightning struck our building.
Come again?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
For that?
What?
Yeah, so I had just moved over to restaurant from the store side, and lightning struck our building. And in our electrical room, we have these 2 massive server blocks, right? That, are all this,
Wait. Big store, small store.
big store. So
What year was this?
last year, or the year before.
I wasn't back over there.
I don't think
yet.
so.
Yeah.
Wait, was it when we were living together or right before?
We were living together.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So lightning struck the building, fried half our servers. So like nothing was. I had power and like lights and stuff were on, but like couldn't use the gas pumps. None of the registers worked. None of the computers worked. The internet wasn't working. This wasn't working. This wasn't working. And so we called help desk like we're supposed to, and I'm talking with them and whatnot, and they're like, "Hey, we have to get a specialist from tier 3 to come and assist you." So I got my boy Micah. This guy who's like, hey, so obviously I can't help you with all this stuff from the store line. Let me get your personal number and I'll call you on there. So he was in an earbud of mine, and me and him spent 7 hours straight readjusting ports, like pulling Ethernet cables out of one port, putting it in another port, trying to figure out what ports worked so that we could get the building operational again. And I'm sitting there and like by hour 3, I'm like, dude, I have to step away and smoke a cigarette. He was like, oh, bro, I've been vaping this whole time. I'd do this from home. Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
I will say.
Here I am fiending.
And that's your wait on. So, but this one here's your biggest loss.
Well,
Yep.
I call it the biggest loss because it was 7 full fucking hours
Of just unplugging and plugging shit back in.
getting stuck too. Like I kept constant. Like I would not be paying attention. I'd plug in a bunch of ports over my arm, like a dumbass.
Oh, and then you just kind of
I
like.
do remember you telling me about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like I got electrocuted doing that too.
Wow.
And then the very next day I get half berated by my boss at the time because not everything was up and running like it was supposed to.
Oh,
It was still her, right?
like it's your fucking fault.
Him.
I don't remember there being him over at the restaurant.
Oh no, I was an OM. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I got it mixed up.
No, yeah,
That's my bad.
Yeah, and I do remember that time now because I was still across the street. Because when we found out what had happened and how severe it was, we laughed our asses off at you. Because you guys always had this big head about you, how much better of a story.
I don't see
you were
why I
than
say,
us.
yo, I just started working over at that location, bro.
You left us. You betrayed us.
Yeah, for more money
Okay.
and a promotion.
I don't care.
Fair.
You left us. All right. We were in the trenches, and you left me there taking grenades. But anyways, yeah, no, I do remember because we all laughed our asses off at you. In fact, your brother was part of the laughter and the jubilee.
Yeah, it
Because we
was.
were like, you know what? Fuck them. They always think that they're better than us, even though we outsell them.
I
3
thought
to
it was
1.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah, we did. We all. In fact, didn't we like get pizzas? I don't remember.
I couldn't tell you, dog. It
I
was
think
so
we threw a
long ago.
party.
And you got to remember, I was on drugs back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, you were. But yeah, no, we all threw. We were all.
Now, what's your big win loss?
Let's see here. There's so fucking many. All right. You know what? I think one of my biggest wins, I guess it could it's just one of my favorite days I ever worked. Was the day that my entire crew called out on me on 4th of July.
Oh, I know what he's talking about. Yeah.
It was me, my boss at the time, and Ethan, because we were both in the same position
I
in the
got
same
called in.
store at the time. And my entire crew called out on me on 4th of July because they got told they couldn't request off for it, you know?
Blackout.
But everybody was trying to get it off like the week prior, so it was like no time to fix that schedule or get anybody else in. So everybody that wanted it off got told no. And everybody either called and said they weren't showing up or just didn't call at all. But even though that happened, that was still my favorite day to work because you and me fucking destroyed that front counter, that front of house, dude. Like me and him were all over the damn place. People were coming in. They'd be like, whoa, fuck, there's 2 of them. You know, it was hilarious.
That was back when we had our haircut the exact same. He had less tattoos, so we had a bunch of matching tattoos on us.
Yeah, that was when I didn't have all the rest of these on my fucking arms and shit. But no, it was great. And my boss, I didn't know she could sling burgers like that, man.
I think she was better than you.
Oh
honestly.
no, yeah, no, she was
fast
fucking
as shit.
She was,
That was,
tossing that shit up. I was like, damn.
Little A.
Yeah, she's now the general manager for the Hutchinson location.
I loved her.
She was awesome.
Me too, man.
Yeah, she's the one that trained me how to do interviews the right way. Yeah.
I miss her so much, man. I'm so mad.
Yeah, but she did
left.
end up taking the headset off because she was like, I can't listen to
Do
two
you-
of you at
Yeah,
the same,
yeah.
same
Do
time.
you remember the day I met her husband and I said, holy shit, he looks like my brother? And then you met my brother and you looked at me and you said, holy shit. He looks just to this day, and they had the same last name.
Yeah, that was crazy too.
I'm
like,
still
to see
convinced
that.
to this day that is my brother's brother.
That'd be wild.
That'd be kind of
Same
crazy.
last name, spelled exactly alike, and they look so similar. Even
wild.
Ethan said, holy shit, David, they're related.
Someone needs to get a DNA test stat.
Yep.
But I think my biggest loss though, what would be my biggest loss? Because I've had a lot of shitty fucking
Putting
days.
in an application.
Letting you convince me to put in an application.
You know
Yeah.
what, though? Yeah, where he works, it's like you take L's every day.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like I also got raised to roll
No
with the
lube
punches,
either.
dude. Like my face may be black, blue, and purple, but like I'm still rolling with every single goddamn punch. You know what I mean?
But you're white. Sorry.
Donkey punches you on the daily.
Oh, dude. And right
It
in
only
the
hurts
fucking
for a
jewels,
minute,
bro.
You know.
But, I think probably one of my biggest losses is probably gonna have to be.
Yeah, that's a hard
What
one.
about that one time y'all's fryer caught on fire so bad that y'all had to actually deploy the Ansel
I wasn't
suppressor
there.
system?
No.
Oh yeah.
You know, I wasn't there. I just got told about it afterwards.
And it wasn't really that bad.
Yeah, no, it really wasn't that bad. It was just
No.
enough to where the Ansel system freaked out.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, and if you ever can see into the back of house of a restaurant, if you ever see these weird metal things hanging above like the fryer or like the grill or something, that's called the Ansel system. If it detects heat, like hot enough heat, it will deploy
It's
a
actually
foam
like,
everywhere.
It's a few hundred degrees.
Yeah, no, it's got to be like hot, like
Well, because you know, a
maybe the
fryer is
store's on
usually
fire.
standard about 350
I feel so
degrees.
bad because I used to be an assistant manager. I'm supposed to know this. I took the test. I passed it. You took it too.
And you
We're
know what?
supposed to know that temperature.
You know,
I
I'm
bullshit,
actually,
bro.
I'm so
Huh?
happy.
I bullshit through every test I
God
take.
damn
dude.
it.
You have no idea how happy I was whenever it actually deployed, because for the longest time I didn't think it fucking worked.
Yeah. I mean, and when they come and test that shit, how do we know that they're actually testing it legitimately?
Right? Like,
You know, it could be their
how do
Friday.
we know
and
they're
they
not just
wanna
walking
go
and
home.
going, "Yep," and then fucking off?
If it's someone's Monday, they don't want to be there. If it's someone's Friday, they're ready to go home. Yeah,
you know
I'd
what?
say that was a bad one. Ooh, what about that roller? The bun and patty roller.
The charbroiler? Mm-hmm. What incident? You guys be way more
Every
specific.
single one of them.
It catches on fire like weekly,
Yeah.
bro.
All right, so so Charlene, right, is the charbroiler that I use. We have names for all of
Yeah.
our equipment. It just makes it easier. But Charlene is my mistress, and she's a bitch. All right, every time I take her apart, which I call undressing her, right, she has to take some kind of fucking blood sacrifice from me. Every single time I take that bitch apart, I get sliced, burned, stabbed. One time I got electrocuted.
How
I
old is
don't
it?
I don't know how the fuck that happened. It's like 15 years old almost.
Yeah, I'll say
Yeah.
it's rich.
It's
Really
it's
ancient.
old. If you
Yeah.
go to any other location that I like, non-disclosed location that I work at, they all have these newer, nice, shiny charbroilers. They're all electric, and they're smaller.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like them. They're smaller.
And efficient.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Y'all
But-
should just let it break.
Oh dude, it's as long as it's taking blood from people, it's still gonna keep working. I swear. Like,
I remember one time it was down for a week because it was so old the part couldn't be found. Right? Remember, because you guys were a burger joint that couldn't make burgers.
well, yeah, but we just started using the grill.
Oh, did you? See,
flat top,
I
yeah.
didn't know. What
Yeah,
that-
I mean,
we
me and
have a
Malcolm
flat-
have
so
Sonic experience, so
we
like
have
we're
a
good at
flat
working the
top
flat
yeah.
top.
for breakfast because in the morning we have burritos and biscuits and all this other shit. So we use the flat top to make the burritos and the eggs and all that jazz. And when we're in a bind, we use the flat top to make sandwiches, right? But that's besides the point. It was probably the chain, by the way, that you're probably thinking of. The chain probably
It's
busted.
almost always
or-
a chain.
It's all
Yeah.
a chain.
Or the bearings in the gear.
Oh, that brings me. Yeah, I actually, one of my biggest losses.
There it is. Told you.
Right. It's not about the charbroiler.
Okay.
It's not about the charbroiler. It's when I had to work 9 days straight and launch a 9-day investigation into a sexual harassment claim.
You know what?
I remember this.
do have a new biggest loss. He's right. Okay.
Yeah. So
Was
for all
yours
intents and
tied in with
purposes, I'm gonna call this lady.
I won't say what I want
You
to.
can
I'm not
just
gonna
say
say what
it.
I want to.
Pardon my
No,
French here,
no,
but
I'm trying to be professional.
Sure.
This bitch. I mean, anyways, we're gonna call them. We're just gonna say Karen.
Larry.
We're just gonna say Karen.
Okay, Karen works.
Yeah, no. But so, I was notified on my Monday, which was probably like a fucking Wednesday at that point. I can't even remember. But right when I walked into work, that this bitch Karen, on a day that I wasn't there to oversee her, because this was like right after I became an assistant manager. So this lady was a shift leader under me, right? And I got told that she had FaceTimed a friend of hers while she was at the front counter, which, to be honest, I don't really fucking care. I don't really care, right? The issue was that this lady was not only actively taking a shit in her bathroom while FaceTiming her, but they were
so she's behind the counter FaceTiming a friend who's now taking a dump on FaceTime. Mm-hmm. Okay.
and we ain't even to the bread and butter yet.
God damn.
And they are just making vulgar fucking moaning into the thing, making weird fucking sex jokes and shit, and pulling in my young 16 and 17-year-old girls, trying to pull them into it with her,
Man.
and making everybody uncomfortable and just gross. And they all brought it up. I got ambushed right when I walked in, so I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Okay, fine. And so I was like, you know what, I gotta work 9 days straight this week, fuck it, Let's get all the information I need. So I literally,
This video is sponsored by DeWalt Wood Chippers for all your file needs.
right? And like it dumbfounded me. I was like, how can you be so stupid? You know?
Yeah. No,
It's
you're
like
right.
it's bad enough that you're fucking FaceTiming
How old
people.
was this person?
Oh, Karen?
Yeah.
Like my mom's age.
So she's old enough to fucking know better.
Yeah, old
Yeah.
enough to fucking know better, but stupid enough not to care.
Flower child.
All right?
Yeah.
It's like, ooh,
We
man.
just say dumb bitch usually.
I know, but I'm trying to be chill.
I can't stand her.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started. Like
You
it's
got
like
some deep-seated rage towards the opposite sex, my man.
no, just this one. Just
Yeah.
This one.
Oh,
Ever since
okay.
they started voting, dude, it's just been. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That one might have to get cut out.
You're gonna.
No,
Nah, leave
my
it in,
wife's gonna
fuck it.
hear.
We gotta
No, my
establish
wife's gonna
characters
hear
here.
this and beat the fuck out of me. Okay, like it's okay. Like I get my
Film
ass
it.
beat on the daily.
Film it. It's content.
Yeah.
Film her reacting to it.
But
it's
dude,
content.
God.
Yeah.
I will say
Okay,
the
okay.
silver lining into this story though was when I sat her down in the office and literally I had this little. It's still in my work backpack actually. I have a clipboard that's like this big container that I can open up and I have all these papers and shit in there. Right? I sat in my office, sat her down in front of me and just clicked it open and just started pulling out fucking like witness statements and fucking video footage and fucking like I even went so far as to pull her speed of service times and her fucking like sales reports from her shifts, right? To be
Yeah.
like, it's like, look, you clearly have way too much fucking time on your hands and you're not doing your fucking job. This is
you
gonna
know
be a
what?
problem for you.
How old was the person? You said 17, the one that was on the FaceTime taking the shit?
No,
No.
my kids. They were like, cause
Oh, the
you
ones
know,
around you were okay.
like I call them my kids because
Yeah.
I'm protective of my little ones that I work with.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the fact that she was doing all this shit and trying to rope in these young girls into this fucking weird perverted bullshit, you know?
I mean, I assume you were successful though in your mission.
Oh, dude, I was so successful in my fucking mission.
Hell yeah.
Like it was almost like it took my weekend after my 9-day fucking investigation. I came back, no longer a shift lead. I was like, fuck yes, I win.
God damn it! I just realized who you're talking about.
Yeah, there you
As
go,
soon as
buddy.
you said shift leader.
There
Okay.
you go.
The one downside is that the current GM you had at the time took 7 fucking years practically to fire that employee.
Oh, dude,
They
yeah.
needed to be fired, not demoted, fired.
I will
Yeah,
say,
you know
yeah.
what though? I found
But-
some other drama about that shit though,
Hey.
about the GM and them.
Oh, there's a lot.
There's,
Yeah,
oh,
a lot
there's
of bullshit that should never have flown.
right.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for years. I'm sure. I do believe I said this in last week's episode that we did, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it again. When we were both working overnights together, and I was the overnight manager, right? They came to me, right? The restaurant and the store general manager, they came to me and was just like, "Hey, we want to put Karen in the RTS program." And I went, "Don't."
You know when she came
They
to
asked me too, and I said, fuck no.
when
Yeah.
she came to me and she said, "Hey, David, by the way, guess who just made it into RTS or who's about to get put into RTS?" Without hesitation, I was like, "Why?" Like that's what I said to her. I mean, I was busy, so I didn't want to really fuck with her anyways. And she goes, "David, guess who's going into RTS?" And I was like, "Why? Why though?
Right? It just
Are you really the best option that they have right now?"
like it felt like for a
Which
while.
she wasn't. You guys had
dude.
several better prospects.
Oh, dude. Well, like, it felt like for a while, right? That they were just putting people in those positions that were just gonna be like, "Yeah, no, I'll take care of it." Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was.
Right, and there's a difference between saying that you'll take care of it and actually fucking taking care of it, you know. But we should probably go ahead and try to move on to our next point. I think we spent a good chunk of
Actually,
time
we
on
can
this.
kind of branch off of this. The worst problem we ever had to handle.
Oh, worst problem I ever had to handle?
Which I guess for you would have been that.
Yeah, actually, yeah. That's pretty much that covers it. It's either that or that one lady that tried to accuse you and me of being racist.
No, she tried to accuse you of being racist. She had a great experience over on the store side with me, and then I came over there because she was yelling at you for no reason. And I was like, yo, whoa.
I
I
feel
can't
like
even- I
if-
can't
Well,
remember
okay,
why
and
this
like,
lady-
and then this lady realized, oh shit,
There's two of them.
they are exactly the same. I think they're siblings.
I feel like if you're working in retail and you haven't been called racist yet,
You're not doing it right.
you're not doing your
doing it right,
job.
yeah.
You're just, I mean, because yeah,
Right, and I can't even remember what she was angry about or what she wanted.
it's
like to be
it's
honest.
completely irrelevant. Yeah, I mean, it's they're. I almost said they're gonna find a reason. Like, what the hell do you mean by there, David? Anyways,
Well, like,
Customers are going
it's
to find a reason to be pissed.
it's a trump card, just like, calling somebody, sexist or fascist or anything when
Nazi,
they don't agree with
just
you.
all
like,
those. Yeah.
Right? It's
liberal.
It's
calling
like, you know
doing
what that tells
like-
me? Whenever somebody tries to pull any of those cards on me, it's like, okay, so that just tells me you're out of ammunition and you
Yeah.
don't actually have a point.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
It's like, that means like there's clearly been a breakdown in communication and you are no longer going to start talking to me like an adult, which means I'm no longer going to treat you like an adult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right? I mean, fuck.
I think for me, my worst problem is probably either A, cleaning up a 50-gallon diesel spill that took us all the way until 3 a.m. to finish cleaning, or getting literal shit off of the roof of the bathroom.
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. What was that?
Yeah, hit me with that again.
Yeah,
So, like, investigating the splatter patter, if you would.
sure.
Somehow, I guess this dude sitting on a toilet was leaned way too far forward,
Yeah, you're right. No, yeah.
and he got shit on the ceiling of the bathroom.
I would love to have had Neil deGrasse Tyson walk in and explain that shit to us.
Right? Okay, like, real quick.
Yeah.
I
'Cause-
still am dumbfounded on how that happened, and it took me like an hour to try to get it cleaned.
Right?
Yep.
Like, I'm going to be honest, like, I would hate to see how some of these motherfuckers live.
Oh,
You know?
Like
bro.
slobs.
like-
you don't have to
Like,
even
I
question.
don't
That's how
get
you
it,
treat a
man.
bathroom or a shower or the table you eat your fucking food at.
Even prep tables, like where the coffee
Yeah.
makers are and shit.
Dude, I don't want to be anywhere on your fucking block, bro.
Nope.
Right? Because clearly you don't give enough of a shit to take care of yourself when you're not in your own house. I'd hate to see how you fucking live.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like it bewilders me. You know?
Yep.
Like I don't know. I
What
guess
about
I
yours,
guess I'm
David?
just a more cleanly person than.
My biggest loss was the 2-year battle that I waged against that fucking bitch that took over our store as the GM. And you were there.
Yep.
You weren't, because like I said, you abandoned us. You were there.
Yep.
You remember the exact day, because you were there, the exact day that she crossed the line and I had enough and I walked out. That night, I was contacted by 2 people in management positions you've never seen. One of them you have. One was the DM position, but one was above him.
Oh
right?
shit.
Yes, I got contacted by a few people.
DV or higher than a DV?
Higher.
Damn.
I got no, because this was an ongoing thing about her for a while, and I was already in the spotlight for advancement. So when someone like me had enough and walked away, and the whole reason why I walked away is because I knew if I did it, it would raise some kind of fucking awareness for it.
Right.
You remember the 3-hour long conversation I had with the district manager with that GM sitting next to us, and all the bullshit I called out, and then not a damn thing happened. I got in trouble. My advancement got held back, and then I ended up in Delhi after everything.
Yeah, no, I
Yep.
remember all of that.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember just like watching it all unfold from the fucking outside. I was
Yep.
like, what the fuck is going
And
on?
what pisses me off is the whole store had my back until they were asked face to face by upper management if what
question.
I was saying was true. Oh no, we love it here. She does a great job.
Right? And then
I
everybody just
couldn't
fucking
believe
folded.
it. They all fucking turned on me. Every single person turned on me. I got kicked out back down to Delhi. Yeah.
I was just going to add. So, like, I didn't abandon.
Abandoned.
It literally was, though, like, she was trying to push me out somewhere.
If you had stayed, you wouldn't still be with the company.
I would have
today.
been fired because she,
Yeah.
and actually she said this verbatim, and I had it on record for some other people, which we brought up,
Mm-hmm.
was she felt threatened by me because I knew how to do her job better.
We all knew how to do her job
But
better.
like
hell,
I
how
had
many-
been training people to do her
We were
job.
the ones
for-
training her when she came to our store.
Yeah.
All right, fuck. I trained her when she was in my side.
Yep. But anyways, yeah. So, kicked. My advancement was retarded, and I got kicked down to Delhi part time. And well, yeah, remember it was part time because they didn't have a full time spot at the
Oh yeah, for Delhi
available
over there. Yeah.
part time. And then everybody in the store turned their back on me and said something completely different once they were all questioned because of course an investigation was launched. They all said something. They all turned their backs on me and then had the audacity to ask me, "Why don't you talk to us anymore?" Gee, I don't fucking know. Maybe because you guys all fucking lied and left me out hanging.
They should have came and talked to me, bro. I would have been so fucking honest with them, dog.
It was kind of like when I got asked to move back to the restaurant.
Bro, you didn't get asked.
Right. That
No,
was some
you
shit,
got
bro.
you got told.
I got to do it to save face for now.
So you know the whole story, like the way that it was explained to everybody else, right? Like you understand. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
When it was explained to me, so it was brought to me because obviously I was next in line. It was brought to me as a heads up. Hey, there will be a spot open. You're going to take it. It was explained to me that what you did, and I remember looking at them and saying, "Yeah, that sounds right." They were like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Yeah, no, that sounds like I'm not even surprised that he did it." They're like, "Yeah, but that's not professional." Okay,
All right. For those of you
but
that
they
are
had
curious,
it coming to him.
my brother did not do anything fucked up. All right. He basically just like took a bunch of teenagers that were being disrespectful and was just like, hey, fuckheads, you better get your shit together. That was pretty much it.
I was told. Well, I don't want to tell the story.
Well, the
if I was
worst.
told.
Okay, all I'll say on it is the worst thing that I said to them was get y'all's heads out of your asses and start listening to.
See, I was never
So-and-so.
told verbatim what was said, but the actual infringement wasn't him saying it to them. It was a parent that heard it and made the big stink.
Boo fucking who? Then maybe you should parent your fucking kids a little bit. Sorry.
Well, I mean,
No,
it's
sorry.
hilarious because
Right.
it's so parent, right? Mm-hmm. Was the one that asked me to come handle them.
Yeah.
Right, and I thought that was fucking wild. It was like, didn't you not?
And she knows what happens when I have to go handle something like that.
Right. I mean, I don't know about you, but whenever anybody asks me to go handle somebody, I warn them first. I'd be like, are you sure you want me to handle it? Because I'll hurt some
I'm
fucking
gonna
feelings.
hurt some feelings. Yeah.
That's
know?
why I wasn't surprised when they came to me and told me what had happened. They're like, so Ethan's going to be, it wasn't demoted. It was always made clear it wasn't demotion. It was like a side.
Well, they weren't calling it a demotion
lateral
because
movement.
they weren't taking away any of my pay.
Yeah. So it was more like a lateral movement. And when they explained it to me, I remember just being like, yeah, no, that makes sense. And they're like, yeah, but like you agree that he should.
Yeah, we're gonna laterally move him over to the people that all caused this whole issue in the first place and force him to work the exact same shift and work with all of these people that
It's funny
caused this
though
problem in the
because
first
their whole
place.
reasoning for it was etiquette training.
For me,
Yeah, they're like, yeah, if we put him in the shit and make him live with that, then he'll learn how to handle it better.
no, I made one dude transfer out, 3 of them quit, and then the rest of them that stayed, any of them that did, shaped the fuck up.
Yeah,
Right, because like, don't get me wrong. Like, I know that, like, I know whenever we're talking about it, you know, we sound like we're all fire and brimstone about it, you know. But we don't lead with the fire and brimstone. We're all about being understanding and trying to get everybody on the same page, not with a heavy hand. You know what I mean? Like, I always start off trying to be, I don't want to say nice, but at least professional. You know what I mean? Like, at least like professional and friendly. Be like, hey guys, come on, let's do this. Let's take care of this.
Yeah.
But if I gotta fucking repeat myself, if I gotta keep repeating my fucking self,
yeah, but you also have
That's
to
what I
remember
get.
that you're working with kids.
that is true.
You're the adult working with the kids.
Yeah, that is also true.
Yeah.
And I will say,
So
I know I
there's
have.
going to be a degree of having to repeat yourself, like it or not.
That is true. That is
Yeah.
true. But at the same time, you know, like if I tell you to do something and you just don't fucking do it, and then I gotta tell you to do it
just
again,
blatantly outright.
and you don't
refuse to
think
do
I'm
it.
serious,
No.
that's when I start turning into an asshole.
You fixing to find out.
Yeah.
That's
right.
I stopped messing with that kind of stuff. I literally what I'll do nowadays is if I tell somebody like twice to go do something, and then be like, oh, I'll do it later. I'll get to it when I can, and like it's not like a genuine thing. They're kind of like doing it like a like what is it like sarcastic?
Yeah.
Kind of being dickheads about it. I go on the computer, I clock them out, I go back over to them, go okay, go ahead and go home. And I know that doesn't work for every single one of them, right? That doesn't work for every single person that you have like that.
Also, not protocol there, brother.
I know. So I haven't had to do it in a really long time because somebody called me on my bluff.
Well, yeah. I mean,
But me as the manager on duty, I can send anybody home that I want to.
that's absolutely right.
And so I
You
clock them
can.
out, go over towards them, and say like, "Hey, go ahead and go home."
However, don't forget first, you need to make a report, and they need to see it and sign it, and then you send them home.
Right. Those of you
Yeah,
that
we get there usually.
Yeah.
I don't like doing coaching.
I mean,
like if
eventually.
I cannot put
Oh
something
God,
on
I
some-
love giving out coaches.
like for me,
oh my God.
as if I can hold off on as long as possible on putting something on somebody's record,
No,
I
fuck 'em.
want to.
Right.
No, fuck 'em.
Mostly. There are a good chunk of exceptions depending on what it is.
You and I both worked store side at the
Oh, now
store I
like
was at
a
last.
lot of those people, they
all
needed
of them
it.
fucking had
They
it
needed
coming to 'em.
Absolutely.
Every one of them had it coming to them, and it's been too long.
But like
I enjoyed giving out those coachings.
my teenage kid who's not used to waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday to get to work is like
Boo-hoo.
15 minutes late. I'm not gonna coach him.
Nah. Boo-hoo. Grow
I
up.
mean, I'm gonna hit him hard when he gets into
Yep.
the building, like I do every time. But I'm not gonna put something on his record.
Well, yeah, not if it's like a first offense.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I almost sound like a monster. Yeah, not like on first offense.
You sound like a monster, bro.
Well, that's not my fault. Like
I want
when
to
I
stimulus
went,
right up to your forehead.
when I went into management, I had to assume a role right out of the gate, and I fit into it pretty damn well.
Yeah,
I think I did a pretty good job.
My favorite thing to hit people with when they're late is just like, hey, yo, you know how to read a digital clock, right?
Yeah.
Like,
You
fuck,
can
sometimes
do
it
it
feels
just
like
Why are you humping your fucking chair?
Try to adjust my chair, okay? I'm in a weird spot.
Hey, you just did something to your computer.
I don't know. He moved his mouse a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah, that'll be all right.
okay.
But all right. Anybody else got anything? Worse problems?
We're still on worst problems.
That's
I
where
mean,
we're
we
at
could
right
talk
now.
about your nightmare you had the other day.
Oh yeah,
is the
yeah.
next
My,
one.
my fucking work-related nightmare. So those of you
Oh,
that have
Jesus.
worked retail long enough will probably feel familiar with what we're about to start talking about next. You like when you're in your sleep, or you'll have nightmares of working and shit, right? And like my most recent work-related nightmare, which it was bad because like I like twitch in my sleep and like shake, and it freaks my wife out because it wakes her up and she knows I'm having a nightmare. And it was weird because I was at my grandparents' house, right? Hanging out and stuff, but I was freaking the fuck out because I couldn't access any of my work-related apps on my phone, so I couldn't figure out when I was working. And I was like climbing the walls, panicking, freaking out. And for some reason, two of my coworkers,
Chat,
which
he works the same days of the week.
Every
week.
single
It's
fucking
same
week,
shift,
you know?
pretty much every day.
He works what we call the privileged shift, the dream shift.
hey, I've had to,
Yeah.
I had to work for that shit. Okay, I earned that shit.
Well,
I just work whatever they put me on.
But no,
your knees and jaw probably did all the work to get you there, but yeah, okay.
right? Yeah, I need to get invested in some knee pads, man.
$20 is $20, bro.
$20 is $20, bro. That's gas money in this day and age.
That's 2 packs of cigarettes.
But no, so like, I'm not gonna name their names, but I'm just gonna call them Hansel and Gretel. But this, yeah, it's this couple that I work with. For some reason, they were at my grandparents' house with me, and I was freaking out and everything. And Gretel, she, as usual, she was being very understanding, be like, "Hey, don't freak out." Da, 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 da. But Hansel started to fucking chastise and berate me, and literally, I can still hear his voice in my head from my nightmare, just like, Malachi, why the fuck are you freaking out? You work the same fucking days every single week, you idiot. Don't just go to work, show up. What are you doing? Like, and I was getting chastised. Like, it was my stepdad fucking sitting me down and calling me an idiot, you know? Like, it fucking hurt. It hurt in my soul.
It hurt my feelings.
It did, dude. It did, man. It fucking hurt.
The
And like,
level
I
of
woke
gay
up.
that came out in your voice when you
Dude.
were expressing that.
That's because it really fucking hurt my feelings, man. I woke up and I was so like, I was panicked and sad at the same time, dude. Like, I was like, oh my God. I had to get up and walk around the house for a second and like cool off and everything because my body temperature went through the fucking roof and everything.
Fever
Oh,
dream.
dude. Yeah. No, it was bad. It was fucking rough. And then I had a nightmare like a few days later, but it was about like, it was like Dead Space related, so I'm not even going to really go into that one.
I fucking love Dead Space.
Oh,
Make
dude,
us
we'll have to
whole.
talk about Dead Space one.
Make
It's
us whole.
The
Yeah, we will.
only good
Make
fucking
us
thing
whole.
that came out of EA was Dead Space,
Make us whole.
You're not wrong.
right?
You're really not.
right.
And then what do? They fucking kill
Make us
the
whole,
developers.
Isaac.
The third game, I know nobody likes it. I love the co-op because me and Ethan were able
Yes,
to fuck around on
I
it.
love the
me
co-op.
I love playing
Yes.
co-op. I made him go first every time because he jump scares worse than I do.
God
Yeah, but
damn
I'm
it.
also like Dead Space veteran, so it really didn't bug me that much.
Yeah, like when we got halfway through the fucking game.
But like
Oh,
we
yeah,
can
no,
agree
fair
that the
enough.
first and second one are primo. The
Oh.
third
Oh,
one,
they're so good.
The third
I-
one's only good
I-
if you play co-op.
See, the second game, the reason why I don't wear contacts, why I'm never gonna get contacts, and people need to stop telling me to get contacts.
Sensitive eyes.
No, it's because of that one scene in Dead Space 2 where you're having to guide the needle into your own fucking
Fuck
iris.
yeah! No, I
Dude,
love that
I
scene.
can't do it.
I love
like
it.
every time I see somebody at work like messing with their contacts, that's all I can think about. And I gotta fucking walk away, dude.
Every time Will goes to take out his fucking eyeball.
Oh, yeah, so one of our
No, that does gross me out.
One of our buddies, William.
We talked about him last
Yeah.
week.
We
Oh
did.
yeah, yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's got a fake eye. We call him Javi.
Remember, because I
or
wanted
Odin.
to buy him an eye dye.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't really have any work-related nightmares personally. All I have is a funny story about one time when I forgot to turn my radio off because I had a personal radio, so I took that home and I forgot to turn it off. And for some reason, when I lived in town, I could sometimes pick up the radio frequencies from work. And this real loud bitch that worked our overnights that I couldn't stand at the time woke me up out of a dead slumber just like yelling into the radio like she always does, and like freaked me out. Like I kicked up and was like trying to figure out like if I had fallen asleep at work, because all of a sudden I'm hearing this person talking to me like I'm at work. That was just my radio I left on, so I turned the radio off and went back to sleep. I was fine.
You remember when we used to like after you and me turned 18, we were still living at mom and dad's, right? I used to like in my sleep go, "Hi, welcome to Bush's."
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
Oh, dude, I still have to fight that urge every single time I hear a bing anywhere. I could be in a McDonald's like 4 towns over. I hear bing, and I got to fight the urge to go, "Hi, welcome to Bush's."
I said hi, welcome to Walmart to somebody before, and I've never worked at Walmart a day in my life. Like, I said it with my whole ass chest and everything.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Right?
Like,
But
I don't know
that-
why that happened.
But like that says something, you know, like having work-related nightmares. Like, do you know how stressed out
So
you have to
work-related
be?
nightmares, you mean like physically, hold on, I just realized like physically having a nightmare about work?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, god damn it. I thought you were talking about like a nightmare at work.
No,
like a
no.
work nightmare. Like,
No.
No, that's what every time I
No,
clock
like
in.
this is like even when I'm not at work, my brain is subconsciously thinking about work. And it's fucking
What's
up
wrong
my
with you
personal
guys?
life. Trauma.
I mean, yes, Ethan, I always thought about work, but it was never a nightmare.
Oh, dude. Like that's how badly my brain is wired, dude. Is I'm always constantly
copyrighted
thinking about
material, by the
work,
way.
dude.
Hey, I can't do more than 30 seconds and then
Yeah.
we get striked. So, this is a little second.
Like and I know there's so many
Okay, now
other
I'm
people that
starting
I
to
gotta
see
deal
where your
with that, dude.
stepdad is coming from, though. No, really. Like, I can see why he was chewing you out.
He should have beat you more, Mal. Right?
Should have. Really should have.
All right, no, he just kept getting confused and kicking your ass instead.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. I've never had a nightmare
Really?
about work.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, David. Like I know I don't know you as well as Ethan does, but like it just feels like you don't. And I'm saying this is a good thing. You don't let it come home with you.
Oh, that's completely false.
Really?
You can ask my wife.
Really?
My anxiety is so bad. When I was working next to you guys, I ate, shit, lived, breathed the job. If I look at photos, look at me on Facebook, and all my photos, I'm in uniform on my days off. You know
Almost-
why I'm
he's
in uniform?
always in uniform.
You know why I'm in uniform on my days off? I'll tell you exactly why. Every time someone asks me about that, because I never know when I'm gonna get the call that I have to come fill in for a position.
Right? No. And eventually.
So I'm always ready to go.
Oh, dude, I got to a point where I was like, look, on the days that I work, the days that I'm scheduled, you can call me to work whatever times. But the 2 days that I have off, leave me the fuck alone.
No,
All right, let me at least have those 2 fucking days.
that's for me and Ethan are a lot. I can't do that.
Really?
I'm thinking about my store. Even on my days off, I'm anticipating a call.
See, I finally gotten to a point where I value my mental health more than I value my fucking paycheck.
When I was closer, after I made manager, when I was closer, my overnight team understood. I stayed up on purpose an extra 2.5 hours after my shift was over, so that way if they had questions, they could always call me.
Oh yeah, no, I remember seeing you
Yep.
like whenever I was the overnight shift lead. You know, you'd be there for a while. I mean, hell, I think you'd come out and talk to me every now and then when I'd sneak out for a cigarette early in my
Yep.
shift.
My overnight team always knew that I would be on call for probably about 3 hours of their shift if something went sideways.
Hell,
I was always
I don't
thinking
even
about
know
it.
if you remember me coming up in my fucking pajamas and my cowboy boots one time to help fix pump issues we were having. Because I went home for the day,
Yeah. No,
got
I
the
do
phone
remember that.
call, pumps were all fucked up, nobody could figure out how to fix them, so I came
Yep.
up there in fucking cowboy
Oh, yeah, no,
boots and
I will say
sweatpants.
I've had days like that too, where I've walked in just to get like gas or like a drink or cigarettes or
But
something.
yeah, you're always thinking
And-
about work. Like on your days off,
yeah.
you drive by the store to grab a soda. You could go to any other store and avoid your store,
Right.
but you go to your store.
Right, but I mean, like it's like a traumatic household. Like, yeah, every time I'm in that building, it sucks and it just brings back shitty fucking memories and it fucking stresses me out, loads my shoulders. But that's still my home. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
It's
I
like
still-
a crazy girlfriend.
Right.
She
that
berates
fucking
you,
get rid of.
verbally abuses you, but the sex is great.
Hit
The
okay.
paycheck.
Yeah,
See,
paycheck.
I can't be like that about our old store,
Nah, that's like a $2 hooker that is like
bro. Our old store is not like, because I've always enjoyed being fucked by any of my ex-girlfriends. We always had fun. That store, on the other hand, I never enjoyed it.
Right.
It was never consensual.
all teeth every time.
Yeah, it was never consensual, and I swear to God, I know I said safe word
Feel like rolling around the
more
hay
than a
with,
handful of times.
rolling around the hay.
Yeah,
with
for
Karen.
you, your safe word was always "I fucking quit."
Yeah.
Then you walk away.
Yeah. Boom, done. That's right. Well, everybody always understood that David, will put up with an incredible amount of bullshit, and he'll carry it all, and you won't even know it's stressing him out. I'll carry it, but when it gets to be really stupid, and it's being dumped on me just for the sake of it being dumped on me, yeah, I'll fucking walk away. I'll walk away because that shows me that they really don't care.
Right? Isn't it funny that whenever you do your job really, really well, your job will just give you everybody else's job?
Yes, because they don't care. Now the
Right.
places that do care will try to help you work with it,
Right?
but you can always tell when somebody or some place stops caring about your well-being and starts taking advantage of
Like-
you. It's pretty obvious.
I will say my current boss, I absolutely adore her because she literally pulled me aside.
Oh yeah, she's fucking awesome.
Yeah, she pulled me aside and literally like closed the office door and everything. I thought I was like getting like in trouble or something. She was like, "Malachi, are you okay?" And I almost fucking broke down right in front of her when she asked me that because in my entire history of being in that store, not a single person has ever taken the time to just pull me aside and ask me if I'm okay.
Except for me.
Well, yeah, but that's different. You're my brother. You're supposed to make sure I'm fucking okay. You know?
I could really care less.
Right? Fuck you.
Yeah, it's not a job anymore.
Like, eat shit and live. You know?
And it's not his job to give a fuck about you anymore. Y'all went through that for 18 years. He's
Right?
done.
No, that's true.
He put in his time.
Oh, we're still gonna be doing that until we fucking die, dude. I'm
Hey,
gonna
you
call
would
him when we're 80 and be like, "Hey, you still alive?"
Oh god, we get to that age where we gotta start doing daily check-ins to see who died yet.
You guys are gonna change each other's fucking diapers.
Well, I mean, he's already seen everything down there that I have. It looks exactly like his. I just
Yeah.
have a misshapen testicle.
You know what? No homo, but I have always wondered that. Like twin brothers and how even well, no, I know about twin sisters. I've seen that. But yeah, like, not bragging. Yeah, no, they do look exactly like head to toe. It's great. But yeah, no, like twin brothers and shit. Like, oh no. What if one of y'all get cut and the other one doesn't?
Do you have a dick beanie?
No, I'm serious. Like mommy and daddy. Daddy's really for it. Mommy's really against it. So they go, you know what? We'll split it down the middle. We had twins. We'll see which one comes out better.
Nah, our mom was Catholic, bro.
Yeah.
My mom's Catholic. My whole family's Catholic.
Do you have a dick beanie?
Yes.
You look like you were very conflicted to answer that.
Like you didn't want to answer that.
No,
but-
here's the thing though, okay? Bitches need to understand that it is okay. You know, that's another thing
It's natural.
no, that's another thing people don't talk about, and it's not really discussed in high school or junior high or any of them when that shit's being talked about, sex ed and shit. Women are just raised and trained to believe that uncut is natural and that that's what a good dick looks like. So
We are getting so off topic.
it's just off topic real quick, but I'm just saying, women, quit
I'll
being
give us
fucking
music.
picky. It all feels the same once it gets inside you.
Oh, are we stopping the topic there now?
Oh,
I
Yeah,
even
that's all
gave
I
you
was
music
gonna
to talk
I was
over.
just doing a little,
Okay.
little PDA. I was just
All right, let's
a
see.
little PSA saying, "Hey, ladies, quit being a bitch."
And it's not about the size of the boat; it's about the motion of the ocean.
But it's
it
sure
is
shit difficult to get to China in a rowboat.
Yep.
Well,
All right, let's get back on topic. So our next point is going to be moving into management.
I only did it for the money.
don't fucking do it.
Okay,
It's a fucking trap.
Oh, yeah.
It's not worth it. Unless you get off on the fucking stress and being treated like a piece of meat. Unless you go home and your wife fucking pegs you on the daily. Men, do not go into management. It's not fucking worth it.
Hey, Mark, you must love management then.
okay. So that is not what my point
I
is
was gonna
about.
ask him if his
starters.
wife's foreplay is her walking up to him and saying, "Are you okay?" He starts crying. She's like, "Yes, got him."
Yeah, cry, you little bitch.
That's right.
But no, okay, so this point was more for our younger managers, like young.
Oh wait,
young
so are we
teenagers.
speaking to managers now, or
Yes,
or,
yes,
no,
yes.
no, this
No.
needs to be a cautionary tale.
Yeah, well, no, I was gonna. So I had this point down for like the young people that get put into management positions. Like,
Sorry,
I don't know if I want to name drop him or not.
No.
Well, I'm gonna call him Raul. All right. All right.
Wait, when did he go into management?
He was okay. So he was the Ram with me for a while until he quit.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, hey, super proud of him.
Uh
Like,
huh.
I knew it was coming for a little while. I was like, yeah, no, he's probably about to fucking duck.
Oh,
Which,
dude.
hey, I don't hold nothing against him. To be honest,
and
he had
that's
every
like-
he had every
that's like
right
Jay.
to dip out.
That's
Well-
like Jay. She should never gone in.
Well, here's my thing with Raul. Okay, I don't know if that's racist to call him Raul, but that was like the first thing that came up to my mind, man.
What's his dad's name? Let's use his dad's name.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, Thaddeus.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, no. Oh, I love
His dad's awesome, by
Oh, yeah,
the way.
no,
I don't know if you ever
his
got to
dad,
meet.
Well, I guess
Thaddeus,
it
I love
depends.
Thaddeus.
Okay,
Hey,
so see,
Malcolm,
out
we
of-
could call him by the nickname I usually called him.
No. There's
Biggie.
no
Biggie.
context here.
Oh, yeah,
There's
Biggie.
no context here. No one knows his ethnicity.
We're just gonna call him Big E.
Okay.
That was the nickname Ethan had for him. But no, so man, if I wish I could have given him more advice, but no, but like so I actually talked to him today about it too, and that's where I got this point from. It was young managers coming into their positions and having to deal with older staff not respecting them
Hey.
or listening to them,
Can I talk about that for a second?
right? Because you and me have been there too.
I've been in there longer
Yeah,
because you were in your 20s when you finally actually hit management.
yeah,
I was 19.
right. And now you're in charge of all these people that are like as old as our parents.
Well, it's like so for me when I became technically management shift lead, so I'm running the entire evening crew. I was 19 years old. The smallest age gap between me and the next manager was 30 years.
Was it?
At the time, back
Oh,
in
right.
2018,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was
That was
30-year
a
age
pretty
gap.
huge gap. Yeah.
Sorry, touch the microphone. I know you told me not to.
Yeah. That was the smallest age gap between me and the next manager. On my shift, granted I was working evenings, so there's a lot of people that were working that were my age, but there was also a couple that were like 50, 60, and 70 years old. Love Mr. T. Best fucking dude on the planet.
So like, but it's a double-edged sword, you know, because like when you're young and a manager, because like the older staff, they don't respect you because whenever they look at you, there's like you're as old as my kids. I'm not gonna fucking listen to you. But all the
Me
younger
personally,
staff,
I feel like that's only the assholes that act like that.
give me a minute. But yeah, but the younger kids, they still see you as their friend that was working with them and in the trenches with them. So they're whenever you try to give them an order or a directive or an objective, they're like, yeah, no, you don't really want us to take care of that. We're just gonna hang out like we always have, and it's frustrating, especially when you want to try to take your position seriously. If you're actually trying to move up, and people don't want to listen because you're young. And that's their only fucking excuse, is because they think you're young and inexperienced when you're in that position out of your own merit. Because somebody saw you working and was just like, you know what, this little motherfucker's going places. Let's put him in a position,
You know what I did? Everybody else's job. I say that kind of like
Facts.
sarcastically, but like literally like as a 19-year-old manager and like pretty much having that huge age gap and like
Oh,
You
dude,
know,
I know
that whole
exactly what
thing.
you're talking about.
I did everything.
Right?
I ran circles around people, and I did it on purpose.
Right.
And I made sure they knew that I was.
I did the
I'd
same
rub it in their
thing
face.
in my
Yeah,
like,
but see,
kitchen.
that's
Pretty
the
much.
problem. Is you guys went in and became managers and not leaders. You
Yeah.
want their respect at a young age. Show them that you're a leader.
yeah, no, that took
not
me
a-
a
This is why
long
we
not
have
a
you on the
boss.
podcast, so that
Yeah.
you can give us that,
I honestly don't think I became an actual leader, except for like maybe this last year, maybe 2 years tops.
oh no, same.
Oh
like,
yeah, no.
I don't
agree
feel
with that.
like now I'm finally in a spot where I feel like a leader, because now whenever I say something, everybody's like, yeah, and they get to it, and they take care of business. And the
Yeah.
people that don't, they know the consequences now.
Yep. And that's the most important thing is you want the respect at an early. See, the problem with kids is exactly like what Ethan was explaining. Was when you guys go into management, you're thinking a couple of things, right? Like I have a lot to prove. I'm young. I need to prove that I earned this. So you end up going and doing like what Ethan did.
Which develops into a very bad nicotine and caffeine addiction.
Well,
Right?
yeah,
And
I mean, there's that, but what it builds up is resentment. And
Absolutely.
so what looks like old people not respecting your calls is actually resentment. Because now they're looking at you like you're the Thundercat that just came in and now you're calling all the shots. Like who the hell is he? Right?
That is
so
fair.
instead of coming in and giving orders, you come in and you fucking lead them. You show them, you're like, hey, I need this and this done. I know it can be done. Let me show you. And you do it, and they're like, fuck, he knows what the fuck he's doing.
Or
And yeah, this can be done.
My best method I think I found, let me do it with you.
Oh, dude, I love doing that. See,
And that doesn't you don't do that for everything.
The-
but
I'm
like
saying
the
let
first
me
few
do it
times and
with
the
you
sum of
builds that
like
trust.
yeah.
yeah,
That
exactly.
personalization.
Let me do it with you.
Yeah.
Right? See, because my crew knows if I'm giving you a task, that means I'm taking care of another task. Like my favorite thing to do, I'll come up to my crew, right, and I'll be like, hey, so I need this and this taken care of. Will you handle this? I'll go handle this.
That's a problem. You don't say will you.
Well, no, just
Never, ever,
That's just how my
ever
sentence
look
came
at
out.
somebody and say, hey, do you mind if? Hey, do you think you could? You do need to be firm. There needs to be, you need to look at them and go, hey, I'm going to need you to. You don't ask them if they can, right? So you
Take
want to
care of
earn
this for me, will you?
You want to earn respect, but at the same time, you don't want to come off as
An
weak.
asshole.
Well, weak.
Yeah. No,
So
that's
by
true.
asking if they don't mind, or hey, do you mind if, which he would do every once in a while when he knew he was being too hard and he tried to soften it up a little bit, but then he'd go too far the other way. You don't ask, unless it's something optional, right?
Like,
Then yeah.
I
but-
always give like, so what I usually do, like, especially if I got like too much free time, like if I don't have a whole lot of admin stuff to do, or if I know it's gonna be a day where I'm gonna be mostly on the floor, I'll be like, okay, so here, I got 2 things I need to get taken care of. You pick one, I'll take care of the other.
yeah,
Like I do that all the time.
and that's good. Yeah, because it's kind of like, hey, I'm with you. We're in it together. I'm here for you. Let's do this.
Right? Exactly.
And I feel like younger generation, like people closer to our age, mine and Malachi's, and then a little younger, I feel like they do that better sometimes.
What
Like the
the teamwork thing?
yeah, some of them.
Agree and disagree. 'Cause,
Yeah,
for
I'll
some
agree
things,
and
yeah.
disagree.
There's like
On
there's-
other things, you guys would stab each other in the back if it meant your advancement.
oh,
Because
I don't give
you're
two
young.
shits.
Oh yeah,
You're
no, I
hungry.
ain't about that though, dude. Like,
You guys are also emo and homosexual. But out in the real
I just
world,
wanted more money.
out in the real world, yeah, be careful with the whole being friends with somebody you're the same age as you.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they're given the chance, you're cooked. And that's just a realization people have to live with. But
Yeah.
no, going into management, back on topic here. Going into management, I think in today's age, with the economy being the way it is, I think a lot of younger people are seeing the going into management thing as not even an option anymore. Used to be, it could be an option that you could say, that's really not for me. And you could still sustain a life. You could still, rent and own a car and buy groceries. But now you have the younger generations looking at management as only one thing, a pay raise.
well, like,
They have to go into management if they want to be able to afford to live.
like, and even
Yeah.
then, like, a lot of them see it as not worth it, Like, and
Oh, it's not
I've
worth
had
it.
kids come up and like we've talked about it, and they tell me it's like it just doesn't look worth it, and I can't tell them anything differently because
It's totally
I'm a
not
single
worth it.
income household. I'm second to the restaurant GM,
So you
and I
don't
can
have a choice.
barely survive on
You
a
don't have a
single income
choice.
household,
Exactly, which is what I was saying. You don't have a choice. It's not an option for you.
right?
Especially
It's like-
with
and I
me
told
and
them
Malachi
that.
being married with kids.
Yep.
Right?
Stepping down is not even an option for you.
No, and-
if stepping down meant peace, you're gonna have to suffer.
Well, like, dude, I walked into work like earlier this week. I think it was like fucking Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Gretel from my nightmare, she saw me
Fucking
in
Gretel.
my old shift lead shirt, and she went white as a sheet. She was like, "Malachi, please don't tell me you stepped down. I can't take any more change. I can't take it. Please tell me you did not step down." I was like, "Whoa, Tosh, my assistant manager uniform's on the
Oh God! Damn it!
You may have to bleep me on.
I'll
that.
believe
You probably
that.
still say Tosh. Let's be honest. No one knows who the fuck.
Hey,
you are.
ask
that's
her.
what it says on her
Hey,
name tag.
ask her if she's okay if we name drop her at least just
Yeah,
once.
I'll talk to her about it later. But no,
If she's not
But-
okay with it, I'll
I
believe her.
I literally I was just like, whoa, hold on,
I mean, you're not putting
calm
a last
down.
name to it.
I was like, don't freak out, because okay, she has like stress related seizures, and I could see her like starting to freak out. I was like, hey, they're just in the dryer, okay? Like I just didn't. They were in the dryer when I left this morning. All right, so I just threw on a shift lead shirt, one of my old ones, so I could be in uniform,
Yeah.
Like, don't freak out on me, okay? She was like, oh my God.
Hey,
She started
if I,
breathing.
if I can kind of branch off that just a tiny bit for a little tangent, just real quick,
Hmm.
that was something I was not prepared for. Becoming a manager and being liked was people start to freak out if you're not around.
Yeah,
Like I
right?
took a vacation. I took 5 days. I just took 5 days. Day 2, my phone is blowing up with anybody that has my phone number that didn't know I was on vacation. I was like,
I
hey,
can
did you
clarify
get
that.
fired?
Same,
No,
man.
no. This is okay. So, not picking on people, but I was actually told by a very wise sage long ago when I started being groomed for leadership roles when I was like 13, 14 years old. So I had a wise sage tell me once that if you want to see the mark of a great leader, if you're running, let's say, a store, a great leader, great manager should be able to not be there and that store function perfect.
Oh no, they ran fine. They were just like everybody thought I got fired because like I wasn't there all of a sudden, and like they hadn't heard from me. I don't pop up at the building on my days off. So they're like, "Hey man, are you okay? Like what happened?"
Right? And then when you show up finally after your vacation, they treat it like the second coming of Christ.
Anytime you would ghost us at our store, like for vacations, I'd always tell them. They would come to me, "Where's Ethan? I haven't seen him in a few days." "Oh, I replaced him." "What? What? Yeah, why do you think I came here? That was the whole plan."
I mean, like that kind of was the plan to have you just keep pushing me up out of my spots.
That's my whole job.
Right? That
is
did
to
kind of happen,
elevate
didn't it?
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he completely replaced me when I got moved, quote unquote, laterally.
You know, you just went for you went in for more advanced training. A little
You're
refinement.
lucky this table's long enough. I can't kick you underneath it.
Hey, I'm just saying.
But yeah,
I got little legs.
You know what? This point really makes it easy to move on to our next point too, about being their friend versus being their boss. All right, because you can do both, but you have to do it right.
You can't do both at the exact same time, though.
That is also true.
Yeah, you can't. You can't call someone to the office to give them a coaching and be their friend while you're doing it. You can't. It's impossible.
See, I've learned, and you know, thank God for my kids because I learned it because of them. Like I'll sit people down in the
if
office
you're
now.
going to strike them, don't let there be witnesses.
No.
Oh.
Don't leave a bruise. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But I'll literally sit them down and be like, hey, look, you know you fucked up. And you know that there are consequences to your fuck up. And we're going to talk about that, okay? It's like, this is a chance for you to do better.
Is that exactly how you say it to them?
Oh, dude, I'm going to be honest. Even though my daughters are super young, I talk to them like they're regular people. I don't baby voice them or anything. I literally sit, like, me and Lego will sit down in front of each other and be like, Lego, you do understand that there are consequences to your actions. Like this morning, you know? I have a rule about them bringing toys into my bedroom because they'll just leave them all over the place and I'll step on them, trip, or go to lay down and go try to sleep and I'll get stabbed by like a My Little Pony toy or something. So I have a don't bring your toys into my room, please. And Lego brought a bunch of her toys into my room. I told her, I was like, hey, take your toys out of here and go ahead and leave. And she tried to get really upset at me. And I was like, Lego, you know that that's a rule. You don't bring your toys into my room.
You know, there was a recent study that showed that kids are a lot like dogs. Hear me out. They want to bring their toys, their personal belongings that bring them great joy, into a place that brings them a great feeling of safety and happiness. So by her bringing her toys into your room, that's her nonverbal way of showing you that she loves you and that she feels safe.
Oh my God,
And
I'm
that
such a bad dad.
This is her happy, safe. No, there's a lot of psychology.
Well, I feel unsafe because I'm going to kill myself and break my fucking neck when I step on this goddamn toy.
You can ask my
morning.
wife. I have a lot of free time, and if I even have a thought about something, I'll research it until it wears me out. But yeah, dogs do it. If you notice dogs, like that's the same reason why they go with you to the bathrooms and stuff like that. Is when your daughter brought her toys to your room, daddy's room, and I'm assuming you mean like your game room or something.
Well, I mean, yeah, my gaming setup's in my room.
Yeah. So by doing that, that's her taking her special personal item that brings her happiness into a place that makes her feel safe, and it makes her feel safe because daddy was there.
You know, that makes a lot of sense.
So
'Cause,
psychologically
well,
speaking, when you get onto her about it and yelling, I'm not like saying you did a terrible job. A lot of parents don't know it. By you getting onto her about it, I mean, it's not like bad. She's not going to grow up and go shoot up someplace because daddy was bad to her that one time.
Right.
But yeah, just so you know, that's like,
Well, like
I would allow some small level of it, but
well,
I get it. There have to be rules.
Yeah, that's my main thing with my
You're
daughters
setting
right now.
boundaries.
I'm trying to set boundaries and rules, mostly for my oldest daughter, Lego. Her name's Legacy. We just call her Lego.
How old is she? I forgot.
She'll be 5 here in a few weeks.
This is a very formative time for her.
I know. That's
Yeah.
why I'm trying to get her to understand rules and that there are consequences to not following those rules.
But you also want her to always know daddy's got her.
Oh, trust
Yeah.
me, she always knows daddy's got her.
Yeah.
Like anytime I walk in the house, as soon as that door opens when I get off of work, the house erupts in screams of Dad, Daddy, Dad. No matter what day it is, what's going
So
on.
funny, your daughter sounded the exact same way when Malachi showed up.
Oh, she loves me.
Oh,
she loves
oh,
Kai.
yeah, Patty loves Kai Kai.
Looks like you, loves it when you show up.
Why does my kid look like you?
Weird.
Weird.
It is a little weird.
Why?
Looks just like you.
No, yeah, no, it's crazy, isn't it?
I mean, y'all look nothing alike.
We're twins. We're twins. We're twins.
I got more teeth.
Wow. Wow. I have both my nuts. How about that?
So, anyways, back to being friend versus boss.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I usually do a thing. Anytime we've ever hired anybody that I've known outside of work, like Stuart, I'll look at him and go, hey, so when we're working together, right? I do the motion of like putting on a hat. I go, boss hat, friend hat, boss hat, friend hat. I will not ever do both of these at the same time. If I tell you that, if I have to tell you I have the boss hat on, we have an issue. Because, like, you know that there's a difference between me, like, talking to you like a friend and then talking to you like a boss. Like, I chewed Stuart's ass out yesterday.
Hell yeah, brother. No. Why? What do you do? It's Stuart.
Yeah. Who knows?
You look at his face, you just can't
Look,
be angry anymore.
he's been over in my restaurants long enough to know how
like,
to,
what, 2 months now?
manage things
3 months.
and, like, keep things rolling.
Yeah.
And so, like, I go over there and, like, we're an hour into our lunch rush with, like, 180 for my fucking drive time when it's supposed to be, like, 60.
God
Damn.
damn.
There is nothing in the fry station. They have a whole shit ton of orders on the screen. Some stuff that needed stuff dropped in the fry station that was not dropped. And I got one of the fucking kids in the back doing goddamn dishes.
I don't know why.
And
I thought
Stuart
he
is
said
on
coke.
my line for some reason. And so, like, I immediately, I had to kick into fucking gear. I had to start moving everybody around where I need to. Just fill the fucking fry station with all the shit that needs to be dropped. And just start, like, getting things moving like they're supposed to. And so I was like, you dropped the fucking ball, dude.
Oh, dude.
And so, like, I broke it down for him practically, like, minute by minute. Like, hey, this is where you fucked up. You should have done this, this, and this. 90% of what I just told you, you knew to do.
Yeah. It was just leading the team to do it,
Yeah.
which is the same problem I had with him,
Yeah.
which is why I never recommended him for advancement. As bad as I feel about it, I never recommended for him. Every time they asked me.
He's doing a lot better. I think it was more so just like he had a lapse in judgment at that point.
The man needs meds or gummies, something, to calm him down. And then he'd be more focused, and I think he'd be phenomenal. That dude is wired 24/7.
But that's probably something that he's gonna have to teach himself is to remain.
Brother, have
leveled.
you never worked with Stuart?
No, I have not.
Let me tell you about a regular moment for Stuart at work. Always pacing, always moving, sweaty, clammy. The dude is hardwired to just always be wired up. Like, there could be nothing going on, and he looks like something's fixing to go down.
Like he's always in fight or flight mode.
Exactly.
Well, like, you gotta understand, too, he has probably one of the worst cases of ADHD I've ever witnessed in my life.
Hardcore.
Well, like,
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, no, I will
He
give him
takes
that.
one of the largest doses of pretty much legal meth that you can possibly fucking
It
take.
is not enough.
It's
It
barely
is
enough.
not enough.
Anymore, and it would be killing him. Like, honest. So, like, it really is just, like, a lot for him.
Yeah. But back to the being, but I, the whole like boss hat, friend hat,
Yeah,
like
boss hat,
I
friend
do
hat.
the same thing because everybody at work calls me Mal. That was just a nickname given to me by my stepdad growing up. I've always been Mal. Everyone that's close to me calls me Mal. I let people at work call me Mal because it's a little easier to roll off the tongue than Malachi or Malakia. You know what I mean?
Malaria.
But like
Malakia.
when I gotta pull somebody aside, I'll be like, hey, no, Mal's not talking to you right now. I'm Mr. Nichols now, motherfucker, and you're in the shit.
See, I had to learn hard and fast. Giggity.
Fucking knew it, dude.
Yeah, buddy. Hey, I've done good today. There's been no your mom
your mom.
jokes yet. So, hello. No, you know what I found though, as I got older, old guy jokes. As I got older, I realized it's just not healthy. It's not healthy to do the friend manager. It's not healthy for you as a manager, and it's not healthy for the relationship between you and your staff.
Right, but your staff also needs to know that you are approachable.
You should
that
be a
they can
friendly
come
manager.
to you when they have a problem.
Yeah, you should just be a friendly manager who will be there with you. And yeah, sometimes, if there's some downtime, we'll shoot the shit for a minute.
Right.
Yeah, we'll chew the fat or whatever else other people say. But just know that when I ask you to do something and I come back in 10 minutes, you know what? God damn it, I'll come across the table right fucking now. I'll do it.
Is that a
I'll
promise?
come in. Depends. Am I leading with my head or my feet? You know, hey. But what
That kinda
what
scared me,
I'll
not gonna lie.
yeah, but you know, you have to just be a friendly manager, but be firm. Let them know, hey, I'm gonna give you a task. I'll come back in 10 minutes. It's not done. We're going in the office. You're not gonna like what I'm about to say to you. But you can still be friendly when that's not the case. Just I don't think you can be a friend and a manager.
Right? Yeah. No. It's like I said. Like there's a balance that you have to carry.
Yeah, just be a
You
friendly
know?
manager. People can like you and like, hey, who's that? Oh, that's my GM. He's so fucking awesome. I like him.
Right.
But just know that I'm likable, but I will
like,
fucking write you
I'll
up and
bite
give you
your
a
fucking
final.
head off, you know?
I'll give you a final. I'll fire your ass.
I got that dog in me, and that dog's
I-
got anxiety.
I fired my favorite employee of all time, and it about killed me.
I remember that. That was harsh.
And you know what? She's the one that preferred that if the day ever came that she got terminated, it was me doing it. No matter what, no matter where I was in the company, it was going to be me doing it. And I promised her that it would be me doing it. And when the time came and she fucked up, yeah, it was going to be me doing it. But she understood. I'm a really cool guy. She always loved working with me. We still talk to this day. But she understood. I was a manager, a friendly manager, but a manager. And I fired her.
Right. And can I just say, like, I love the fact that we have these points, right? And we have David's input because I would have never thought of some of this shit like that, you know, like the way,
Yep.
just like being a friendly manager instead
Yep.
of trying to force yourself to balance
It will
friend
wear
and then being
you
boss,
out.
friend and
It
then
will
being
wear
boss.
you out physically and psychologically. Because if you allow yourself to be someone's friend and a manager and you think you can be both, it will wear you out psychologically and you'll begin to feel like you're failing them.
All right. That's probably why me and Big E, like, we worked great together. Don't get me wrong, but there were times where I was like, dude, you make me want to fucking strangle you. And we were like arguing shit, and I'd be like, it would just get frustrating to
Yep.
be around him.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, you know, I think that's also my fault because I let myself, I think my main issue at being a manager is that I let myself get too close to my people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you both have that problem. You
Mm-hmm.
guys get invested on an emotional level, whether you want to or not. Like most of the time, Ethan really, I would
I can't help it,
imagine,
right? Don't-
prefers if he didn't.
Don't let this, you know, asshole facade fool you.
Yeah.
I love my people and I do care deeply about them, you know? I want them to succeed and be okay and happy in all aspects of their life.
Mm-hmm.
But that also brings me to my downfall of I get too close to them. So when
guys
it's
are all
time
too
to
close.
make that hard call or make the rough choice to be like, hey, you're fired, you know, I don't want to do that.
Why do you think I smoke cigarettes so much?
You know,
and
it's
like
funny
I was doing
now that
cocaine
I think
for a while.
about it.
I had
You
a
were
huge
picking
problem
on
with
me about my debuffs last week. One
One
of my debuffs.
we found my debuff.
One of my debuffs is dissociative disorder. So it's not hard for me to just be turned off to public.
Right.
So no, it's easy for me to make a friend. I can be very friendly, but it is also not hard for me at all to completely disassociate.
Well, like it's my personal mission to I want to be able to, especially my younger crew, I want to be able to, while they're at work, to teach them things that they can take home to better themselves.
Are you beginning your little adventure through a midlife crisis? Maybe.
I fucking hope not, dog.
Are you seeing these younger kids come through, and you're like, I want to relate to them. I want them to see that I'm still cool and hip.
No, to be honest,
You know?
no, I just
You're
don't
like,
want
"God
them.
Damn it, I am too old.
I don't want them to make the same fuck ups that I made.
But you have to.
But you have to. I remember we talked
We
about that
talked
last week.
Last week,
Yep.
you have to, because
But you have
we
to.
all came out better for it.
Yeah,
We're
like-
a little broken, but
one of
better.
the things too is like, you know, getting real especially like real attached to these kids and like trying to teach them, and because some of the kids I've gotten over the years,
Mm-hmm.
some of them didn't even know how to do fucking dishes.
Right?
They've never
Well,
been.
yeah.
They've never been weren't given chores, weren't given responsibilities, nothing, and they just wanted this job to get some extra cash to go do something or what out.
Treat them like it then.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
Right? Like you can
One of my
tell that
favorites.
like some of these kids have never had a voice raised at them. You know what I
They're
mean?
about to find out.
Oh yeah,
That's
no,
right.
trust me. 'cause-
I made
Yeah.
a girl cry because of that.
Good.
oh dude, I have my own personal counter of how many people I've made cry. It's in double
I've
digits.
only ever made 3 people cry. I'm proud of that. In my time with the company, I only ever made 3 people cry. One of them was hard, The other ones, secretly, I was giggling on the inside. Because, like, finally, they're fucking seeing something. They're actually hearing what
Right.
they should have been hearing their entire childhood. So, yeah. No, I was proud of 2 of them.
Well, I keep having, I have instances, I've had a lot of teenagers over the years, and whatnot, and like watching some of these kids,
As
like,
employees.
yeah, sorry,
No, I'm just fucking with you.
No,
but
I'm
no,
just like, you
everybody knew what
completely
were
derailed my
saying.
thought process.
Yeah.
But like, and so like, watching them grow up, go to college,
Right?
sometimes get married,
Right?
like getting sent like the like pictures and like the invites and
Like,
things
I was
like
gonna
that.
say, like, do you
and-
know how many graduation invites and like fucking wedding invites I've gotten over the years from like the younger kids that like come and like work with me and stuff. They'll be like, "Hey, you're gonna be there at my graduation?" And I'll be like, I mean,
gotta work, bro. but-
I have attended, no shit, been asked to by the company probably 3 or 4 times now. I mean, not anymore, obviously, but to attend funerals, to represent the company. And I've had to go to all 4 of them. We're talking flowers, full uniform, our condolences, a card signed by members of the family that owns the company. I've gone to 4 of them.
That's
And
wild.
it's not necessarily people I've known, but because they're local, I've been asked. And me and my wife, we've gone to 4 of them.
that's wild.
Yeah. The most recent one was the former GM of the big store, and is now, I think, y'all's boss over your GM. Big dude, Hispanic.
oh,
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's back as our big food guy now.
Yeah.
yeah. He's the
I
AFM.
attended his sister, I think it was. We were asked by the company. We were given a card, flowers, and asked to go dressed in our uniform.
Not
Okay.
Asked
Oh,
to give
I
our
was about to
condolences.
shit a brick.
Yeah.
different sibling.
Okay. Still,
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I'll
Like-
go to a wedding if I'm invited. Fuck it.
Right.
As long as it's not outdoor, fuck you if it's outdoor.
Oh, dude.
It's crazy though, too. Like like hearing these kids. Like I have one kid that he's got a full ride scholarship through cross country for his college.
Cross country's not a sport, but okay.
Regardless, I was so proud of this kid,
Hell yeah.
and like telling him and talking to him about it, and just seeing the pride on his face, and like hitting that. Like I had one kid and be like, "Hey, I'm going to the military. I'm leaving for basic tomorrow," and like he quit. Like he hadn't worked with us in months. He's like, and I just wanted to come tell you and come say bye to you, because without you, I wouldn't have had that push to go and do something.
Right, and it's moments like that.
I had to give him
you
a
know?
hug and be like, all right, I'll stop being a bitch and go.
Oh, dude, like I was tearing up. He was tearing up, and like
Oh, man.
this was not a kid you would have thought would be crying. And like
Right,
I had
it's
to tell,
moments
I
that
told him
that
like
make
I
it tough
can't.
with it.
Real
I
quick,
had
were
to tell him I
you,
was so proud of him.
you had to be restaurant side when Jay had that issue with the kids caught on camera humping each other at the prep table for fun.
Oh yeah, no, they got fired. For that.
One of them was a Navy recruit. Mm-hmm. I had to give him his final.
In the Navy.
No, I gave him his final in front of Jen. Fuck it, Jen. I gave him his final in front of her, and I looked at him. I said, son, do you know why the Navy uses powdered soap? No, sir, why? I said, because it takes longer to pick up. He withdrew his candidacy in the Navy after that, and then quit.
I got a lot of boys that's gone to the military now. I got a lot of boys.
See, like, and on
Well,
my
yeah, and it's going up. Recruitment's going back up.
well, let's not get into all of that. That's gonna take us forever to get through too. That's a topic for another day.
Apparently, the world forgot what happened the first 2 times. We need
Fun
to go
fact,
show the
most
third
of them
one.
that worked for Ethan originally wanted to go into the Army, but after Ethan showed them how much fun it can be around a bunch of guys, they all went into the Navy.
No, I got a lot of Marine kids under my belt.
No way.
Yeah,
Oh, you got a bunch of
actually,
crayon
I have
eaters?
yeah, no, yeah. I got like 5 or 6
So I need
kids.
you to show up with a box of crayons.
So
next
it's like
time
5
I'm
or
over.
6 kids going Marines, 2 that have gone Army, 2 that have gone Navy, and 3 that have gone Air Force.
You know,
1
looking-
has gone National Guard.
Looking back now, I think I would have tried the Army instead of the Marine.
I told
I
him it was
probably could have
actually
gotten into the Army.
It's like you can make fun of me for it all you want, but I was actually when I was in high school, I was on track to go into the Navy to be a meteorologist.
See, I was actually going to go into the Air Force for my nursing.
And then I discovered drugs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to go do
Yeah.
military intelligence in the army.
you would not have made it.
I
No, you'd
actually
have gotten in.
I scored really, really good.
Yeah,
I
you'd have
would've
gotten
been-
in, but boy, they'd have blacklisted your ass super fast.
No, they would have hated me.
Oh,
dude.
God, yeah.
Especially back then, you didn't ever get to meet like you met like young adult
Oh, yeah,
coming
trust
out
me.
of teenager Ethan. If
Like-
you would have met teenager Ethan, you would have punched me in my
Like,
fucking throat.
you
bro.
are friends with probably the best versions of me and Ethan right now.
Wow. So, but
Right.
it, like,
yeah.
so it
yeah.
doesn't get better.
Nope.
No.
Fuck.
This is peak, man. This
Boy,
is
I
just
gotta-
downhill from here.
Right, like
I have got to start rethinking my life choices. You know,
you need
It's
better
just-
friends, bro.
I mean, God damn it. Bad
Right.
influences all around.
because all we're
me.
gonna do is just make fun of you the whole time.
Well,
And this is the better version of us.
you really can't hurt me. My mom raised me.
Right.
That's what you want to call it.
So the next topic here is managing business versus people. Whose was this?
Oh, that was
guys.
mine. That was
Was it?
yeah.
Again, you
What
go
a
ahead.
gay ass topic, bro.
It is.
Oh, fuck! I had the short.
No, actually, I've been thinking about that one. Yeah, I have
here,
a
do you wanna-
perspective on it.
Here, you take
So
it.
okay, so the managing business versus people. I don't know if you guys. Okay, so let me just preface this with saying that I'm not bragging, but when I went into our company, I'm being timed out. All right, so the managing business versus people. Now, I don't know if you guys remember or how close you were
Remember
when I started. Hey, you know what? When I started working with, I had. God damn it!
Bleep
The
that one out.
fucking hell, man! Shit.
I'll bleep it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I started working for the company that we were in, I was introduced to a lot of members of management that were above the DM pretty early because of my GM that I had starting out. One of them was, two of them were family members, a brother and a sister. And I was told something kind of profound by the actual owners of the company, the originals, right?
Oh.
The mommy daddy. Never got to meet them. Wish I had. But his philosophy was always that if you take care of the people will take care of the business.
Absolutely.
And see, that's
And we don't do that
Awesome.
anymore.
no.
So when it comes to the question of managing business versus managing people, take care of the people. People take care of the business for you.
Right. Exactly.
As long as you're not like fucking up the books at the end of every day and business is running as usual, if you're taking care of the people that are responsible for operating a store on a daily basis, the business takes care of itself. There are people far more qualified than you to make sure that the business is going to be operable every single day. Your job is to make sure that your store doesn't burn to the ground and that every day people know what the fuck they're doing.
Right. It should be the people that are in management. Like if you are the manager of an entire location, the people that are right under you should be the ones taking care of the people. I think you were talking about this earlier. Yeah, it should be the ones taking care of the people.
Yeah,
While you take care of the business.
that's right. That's
But
right.
if you're the one having to take care of the people and the business at the same time,
Never
and it
gonna
feels
work.
like you're running a daycare,
Yep.
there's an issue somewhere. Somebody's fucking up, and it's either you
Yep.
or your management team.
But yeah, daddy used to always say that if you take care of your employees, take care of them. Your job as their manager, like it or not, it's controversial. You're their servant. You should every day. You remember our boss at the small store, blonde chick, big loudmouth, right? What did she say every single day at the end of the huddle? Every single day, she say, "What can I do for you?" That's not asked anymore. And it should be. That's your job. That's your job, and that's your job.
It's kind of like, at the end of my shift every single day, regardless how much of a shit day I had,
Yep.
I usually will go from like, I stopped doing it just with the shift leads. I started just doing it like person to person, be like, hey, do you need anything before I leave? Do you need anything before I leave?
I
Do you need
always
anything
make
before I
those
leave?"
rounds. Like
But it
every
doesn't,
single day.
It doesn't happen anymore at your company because that stopped being a priority as soon as mommy and daddy died. It stopped being a priority. It's not asked anymore. It's not instilled into members of management freshly coming in anymore. Every day, y'all's questions should always be is what can I do for my team so that my team is set up for success so they
It
can
does
execute.
really
right?
feel like nowadays, real quick, that it's like, instead of like, take care of your people take care of the business. Now it
Yep.
feels like get your numbers up or we'll find
Get your
somebody else
numbers
to
up
do
or
it.
we'll find someone who can. That's right.
Right? And like I feel like a fake creature sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I have to hear it 3 times before I ever start thinking about walking out the door. I'll go through, I'll talk to the manager coming in behind me. He's like, hey, do you need anything? If they tell me no, I go to a crew member. Hey, do you need anything? They'll tell me no. I go to the back of house. Hey, do you need anything? They'll tell me no. I'll be like, okay, I'm gone.
Yep. Yep. And another thing I would say is another key to success, to taking care of the people, is being able to predict what they may need, being ready to expect something. So you know, most of the time you walk somebody, you ask them a question, you're putting them on the spot. They're not going to always have an answer. They're not thinking about that.
Fair.
Right? So if you want to be great, your job should be to be able to anticipate that. You should be able to see ahead and be like, you know what? I can see where this is going to be a problem. Maybe it's gloves. Maybe it's tongs. Maybe it's, something that you can tell is a little bit rickety. Get ahead of it. Don't wait until someone's coming to you and going, hey, the tongs just broke. Here's some duct tape.
It's actually kind of like one of the reasons why, like, normally before I leave, like, I'll do it like 30, 40 minutes before I leave. Be like, hey, y'all, I'll be leaving soon. Does anybody need anything I can help with between then?
Same.
Like, give them a tiny bit of time and then, make sure that I give myself enough time before I leave because, we're on a no overtime setting right now. So, like,
God, you guys been on that for a
We
while.
can't even get 30 minutes of overtime.
It's so funny
get
because it's like there's no overtime, but yet they're going to give you bare minimum staff. So how did they
And
expect
cut
you
our
to fit that
labor.
all in?
And cut our labor.
And you know why? 'Cause
yeah,
they
that's-
don't care about the people anymore. They care about the profit margins. How big can they make them off the backs of as few people as possible?
Right, but like even then, like even if corporate is being like that, it's still up to you and me, not you, Mr. Jobless over there, you and me,
Difference
to
maker.
make sure that our people are taken care of. Because I agree with David wholeheartedly. You take care of the people take care of the business.
Yeah. And Daddy used to always believe that. In fact, I'm just gonna say it. You know what? I'm gonna say names. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking do it. No, okay. Goofy older blonde chick at the big desk. Sounds like George Bush. You know what I'm talking about. Name starts with an S. Okay.
Yeah.
The one that's been working on that corner since it opened.
Wow, she's working a corner?
I mean,
Anyway,
we call
she
it the
remembers
corner.
when Daddy used to make those visits. And that was one of Daddy's biggest things that he tried to instill every single day. Every time he met one of them, he always him himself, the owner of the company, who makes millions of dollars, doesn't have to give a fuck. She said, would always say, what can I do for you?
Well, it's funny that we mentioned that real quick. We'll call her Big S. Knew them two so well that they knew her by name.
Yep.
Of everybody in the company, the hundreds of
Knew them
thousands of
by
employees
name.
we have, they know Big S by name.
Would see her and say her name.
Oh, dude.
Their
and
kids know Big S by name.
Yep,
and
right.
Big C that works the other side of the
I
store.
don't think people know how far that goes. Just remembering somebody's name,
Oh, it's huge.
right?
It's
It
huge.
goes. I mean, especially with your customers.
Yeah, it
when
turns
they
out
walk
they don't
in,
like when you call them fuck ass.
Yeah, no.
Doesn't really hit well with the older crowd. The younger crowd, they think it's funny, so it's like, ha ha, old man. But like the older people are like, what did you call me?
Did you just call me fuck ass?
But yeah, on the topic of managing business versus people, it's really a no-brainer, but it's also kind of mind-boggling how easy it is for companies to just stumble fuck on it.
Right?
It's like, I don't know. Okay, quick little tangent here. I know when it started, 2020, when the big C happened. Why does it feel, and it could just be me, correct me if I'm wrong here, but why does it feel like after 2020, the only thing that instantly just all of a sudden became so important is how fat can the profits be as fast as possible?
Right?
Why? What happened? What was revealed behind closed doors to have all these companies so scared that all of a sudden now they're charging us 100 times more for less because they got to get those profits up as fast as possible?
Right? It's like they just stopped giving a shit about the people.
Stop giving a shit. That's right.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good spot to go ahead and end out our second episode of the Evening Shift podcast.
It was great.
Oh, that was a spitfire.
Yeah.
Sulfur, brimstone, laughs, gay jokes, the works, bro.
Right? The usual.
But know your mama jokes. I'm sorry. Maybe next episode.
Right? Yeah, you're
today,
lacking.
not today.
You're really
Maybe
lacking.
next episode.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us on our second episode of the Evening Shift podcast. We will see you next week. We're going to go ahead and clock out.